Ah, thou art awakening, I see. I wondered when thou might arise. Hast thou slept well, chosen undead? Good, I am relieved. I have been watching over thee for quite a while now, yet there still appears to be quite some time before the sun comes to fully rise in earnest over this land. It seems as though the sun only comes to rise entirely of its own accord here in the forest. But I do not mind following its example, and only coming to rise of our own accord in turn. What am I doing? Oh, there is no need for alarm, chosen undead. I would never dream of harming thee. I simply used my body to warm and comfort thy own while thou slept. Please forgive me if I startled thee, chosen undead. I only wrapped my arms and tail around thee to shelter and protect thee from the bite of the cold night air. Why? Well, I suspected I would be many more times warmer and more comfortable to rest upon than the cold, harsh ground. So, while thou slept, I thought I would express a token of my gratitude by resting thine body atop my own. I hope I did not somehow offend thee by doing so, chosen undead. Thou slept many times more soundly once I rested thine body atop of my own, so much so I came to believe that thou were utterly content in my embrace. Oh, I am relieved that I did not offend thee, chosen undead. I would never willingly do aught that would put our friendship at risk. Yes, of course I consider thee a friend. I consider thee to be a very good friend at that. I dare say that perhaps thou art the first person I could truly call a friend. I concede that we hath only travelled for a short time together, but because of the trials we have already gone through together, I truly believe that we have built a very strong bond, one I never thought I would have the opportunity to build. We have saved and defended one another countless times already in the battles we have endured, and with foes we have faced, not to mention the very fact that thou chose to not simply attack me when we first met, but instead offered to return with my all and show me the world outside of my own cold and lonely painted one. If I am to be transparently honest with thee, thou may be the first person to show me such kindness, the first to look past my heritage and attempt to see me for who I am, rather than only see me for what I am. Indeed, thou may be the first and perhaps only person to extend thy hand and offer thy companionship to me in the way thou did. I, do not mean to impose such a question on thee, chosen undead, but dost thou not consider me a friend in turn? I thank thee, chosen undead, very much. I am relieved that thou hast come to see me as a friend so soon as I hath to thee. It is difficult to fully express the extent of my gratitude with mere words, but Still, I think thee chosen No, I think thee my friend. Ah, the sun has finally begun to rise from over the canopy. It is most certainly a miraculous sight, one I had all but forgotten in the time I spent living in the painted world of Aramaeus. I am thankful that thou art here to gaze upon it with me. It may be mundane to be my friend, but to me it is a wonder to behold. I could spend all day gazing upon it and not tire of such a sight. Oh, thou wishest to venture forth once more. Might I be able to persuade thee to stay as we aren't a while longer? I find simply laying here in thine embrace rather soothing. Oh, please, I beg of thee, let me savor the sensation of thy touch and the sight of the rising sun a while longer. I wish to make sure thou have fully recovered from the battles we have faced to arrive here, before we venture through this forest in earnest. Besides, it is the least I could do to repay thee for guiding and defending me from all the countless foes and vile creatures that inhabit the lands we have traveled thus far. Yes, I remember the terms of our pact quite well, my friend. Thou wast to serve as my guide in these lands, and in return I was to lend thee aid in battle whenever thou required it of me. Our pact did not bind me into taking any further actions beyond that. However, I simply cannot help but feel I have not been fully upholding my end of our pact thus far. So I resolved myself to find another way of repaying thee for thy kindness. If there is any reason I cannot provide thee with proper aid in battle, or if thou wishes to face a particular foe alone to prevent me from getting in the way, then I will do all that I can to make sure thou art as comfortable and relaxed as possible whenever thou requires rest. What do I mean by not fully upholding my end of the pact? Well, first thou had to defend me from the guardians of the painted world of Aramaeus when we landed on the floor of the grand hall that housed it. The painting guardians moved with such speed and grace that, to my shame, I could not lend thee proper aid. They avoided each blow as if they were expecting them, or were somehow trained in a style that could counter them. I was thankful that I could count on thee to dispatch them, when I clearly could not. If thou were not present, I fear I may have been overwhelmed and subdued. I suspect that the gods of Enrolando placed them there to act as their last line of defense, to ensure that if I ever attempted to leave the painted world of Aramaeus, then I would surely not get far. But it matters very little now, because thou were present, and together we emerged victorious, allowing us to step out of the grand hall and into Enrolando. It appears as though even the gods of Enrolando failed to plan a proper countermeasure that could stop one such as thyself, my friend. However, well, I must admit that thou wast certainly speaking the truth when thou claimed an Orlando hath been abandoned. I never would have expected it to be so dark and empty. I dare say that the painted world of Aramaeus was brighter and filled with more life than that forsaken city. Even if that life was primarily undeath. Yes, and I will even concede that some of the inhabitants of the painted world of Aramaeus were not as kind to thee as they once may have been to me. Still, I was thankful to be rid of both of those cold and lonely places for good and all. However, I still do not understand how thou was able to command those strange winged demons as thou did, to have them ferry us from the ramparts of Orlando down to the fortress like that. What kind of power allowed thee to do such a thing? Under such circumstances, I suppose, I must also concede that thou is most certainly wondrous, my friend. After all, the manner in which thou guided me through that forest was nothing short of awe-inspiring. I dare say that the inside of the fortress was a complete maze. If I had to traverse it on my own, then I fear I would have been easily lost and perhaps would have never found my way back out. Yet thou walked all of its halls with such confidence that I would have believed this fortress was thine had thou told me so. Thou knew the exact timing to avoid all of the giant suspended blades that swung on every bridge. Thou knew where all of the serpentine foes would spring from before they could even mount their attack, while also knowing exactly how to counter each of them. Thou knew where all the countless traps that littered the fortress were and how to activate them, as well as how to safely avoid them. Thou even knew how to use some of those traps to our advantage, to turn them against our serpentine foes, bearing witness to how thou executed thy ingeniously creative plans to defeat our opponents by using their very own traps against them, was also nothing short of awe-inspiring. Just how did thou acquire such knowledge without being the fortress architect? Practice. What does that mean? Oh. Well, if my words can be of any consolation to thee, at least the trials thou went through to learn such tactics, and the sacrifices thou must have made to overcome them, were not in vain. To my shame, I could not properly aid thee in that fortress either. The confined spaces of the rooms we almost constantly found ourselves in made my safe a rather poor and impractical choice of weaponry. Without thy ingenious methods of defeating our serpentine foes, I dare say that leaving that fortress would have been a gravely more difficult affair. Yes, I suppose once we entered this forest, I was able to truly start to lend thee proper aid in battle. However, I never would have suspected that the very foliage that surrounded us would make an attempt on our lives. Nor did I expect the sleeping stone men to possess such strange magic. When they casted their spell, it felt as if I were made to bear the weight of their very own stone armor. Thankfully, they seem to be rather slow and clumsy adversaries, so my scythe and life hunt ability made short work of them, even before any of them could get within range to strike themselves. Do not worry, my friend. I am well aware of the dangers that may lie ahead of us, yet I would face them all and more to see the beauty of this land with thee. For all of its strange and hostile life, this forest is truly an amazing place. Never before have I seen such healthy green grass or mighty tall trees, nor hath I ever seen such colorful and vibrant plants. Some of the flowers here even seem to give off a light that is all their own, helping to illuminate the other wondrous life of the forest floor. I dare say that thou art most certainly keeping thy end of the pact. If any of the other lands thou showest to me art as wonderful as this one, then I would be willing to face any foe with thee in return. Yes, unless thou requests otherwise of me. I am thankful thou had the foresight to warn that blacksmith of my existence and tell him that I would not try to harm him, as long as he did not try to harm me in turn, before we made our way through his forge. If I am to be transparently honest with thee, I felt nothing but dread at the idea of meeting him. I thought I would only see more of the same fear and hatred in the unknown in his eyes, as I have in the eyes of the countless others that have come before him. However, to my pleasant surprise, he instead spoke and treated me with total indifference. Once the initial shock and novelty of my appearance wore thin, I found it to be a somewhat perplexing reaction, yet it was a most welcome one at that. It was as if I was not among the strangest beings he has ever laid eyes on. Yes, I concede that with the occupation he holds in this strange land, he must have laid eyes on some rather strange people and creatures from time to time. Still, I suspect that the diplomatic act that thou employed most certainly played a large role in bringing that encounter to its peaceful resolution. I am thankful to travel with one that not only knows how to make war, but with one who knows how to make peace. I truly count myself among the blessed to have met thee, my friend. Forgive me, I did not intend to make thee lose thy composure. Please excuse me if my eagerness to show my appreciation for thy kindness sometimes gets the better of me. Perhaps we should use this time together to prepare before we venture deeper into... Pray tell, what did thou say was the name of this place? Yes, Darkroot Garden. We should most certainly plan for whatever dangers may lie ahead. After all, thou hast yet to steer me wrong in thy guidance. I would gladly heed any counsel thou is willing to give. I see. A band of lawless undead prowl these woods, in search of those that they may be able to prey upon. In that case, I shall be even more vigilant of our surroundings as we venture deeper into this Darkroot Garden. I should be able to see them far more easily than thee. I would think the mere sight of me should be enough to shy them away from us. However, if any of them dare think to assault thee, then my scythe will show them no mercy. They will know firsthand why the very gods of Otto feared me for the power I possess. Does my eagerness to defend thee truly seem so odd? Thou surely did not think that I would be uncaring for thy safety, simply because thou art an undead. Good, because thou art a friend to me before all else, and I aim to protect thee, no matter what the danger may be. Come, I believe I have held thee back from thy goals for long enough. I have savored enough of thy touch to satisfy me, for now, and the sun has now fully risen over the horizon besides. We hath much to do, my friend, and I do not wish to steal any more of this day from thee. Please, lead on.